the interview part is great, but I was like, I need to have them also
play a little bit of music or something like that.
So that people can actually hear it and be like, yeah, I want more of that. Let me go ahead and go check them out somewhere like Spotify. Click follow.
Click hello.
All right, so today we are in Julie's Infinite Playlist with Nate Grant. How are you doing today, Nate?
I'm doing great.
Great. So just to get started, how did you get into music?
Oh, boy. That could be a long story or a short story. Really, I started as a young kid writing poems.
Awesome.
And as I grew into about junior high age, these poems started taking more of a verse, chorus structure to them, and I realized, hey, I'm not writing little love poems anymore, I'm writing songs.
Yeah.
And I used to be really, really shy about it, too. I had a notebook I'd carry with me all the time and wouldn't let anybody see it kind of thing. And one day a buddy of mine seen it, grabbed it from me and said, I've been wondering what this is, and wouldn't give it back, and opened it up, started reading, and said, man, these are good. You should put them out there.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I just kind of started hooking up with a guy who played guitar, or this guy who done that, and started jamming together.
Yeah.
Before you know it, I'm out on local music scenes just playing shows here and there and stuff. So
awesome.
Yep.
So I guess you've been a part of some bands previously then?
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah.
Mostly as just a singer.
Okay.
For some reason, I hate the sound of my own voice, really do, and which most singers do. And for some reason, though, everybody would hand me the microphone and say, "Here, you can sing, you can sing, you can sing," and I'd say, shit, all right." So I started singing in bands and writing music for them and everything like that, and that kind of became my sole job in music. It wasn't until recently, I'd say within the last 10 years, that I started to teach myself how to play guitar and started to kind of branch off on my own kind of thing.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And what's your writing process like?
Very hit or miss. I don't have a structured writing process. I will either have a random idea pop into my head, and I'll sit down and jot down notes about it and kind of, feel if there's any structure there, or see if I have any other notes that might match up with it and kind of put something together.
Right.
Or I'll sit down and just be practicing my guitar, strumming through some chords, and I'll find an arrangement that I like and start writing around that. Okay. And it happens either way. It's not anything that I don't like to force myself to have to sit down and write, because I don't really like what the end product is most of the time when I do that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot of creativity usually when that happens. So.
Yeah, you just kind of go off whatever emotional wave you're on and let the idea come into you, and then you start nurturing that or developing that idea and seeing what comes out of it.
Right. Awesome. And what are your shows like?
Fun, lively. I try to keep just a good, fun, lively atmosphere with my audience, especially when I'm playing covers. Yeah. Now, if I'm out playing a cover show or something, it's, just keeping the people into it, and we're all dancing around, having a good old time, and cutting some jokes. I take my original work a lot more seriously, and being a singer-songwriter, it can get kind of depressing. I have played some older songs of mine at shows and have had people in tears in my audience, because they get emotional. But that's, I guess, the blessing and curse of songwriting, is that it's a blessing to be able to write, but at the same time it's a curse, because then not only does your audience live through what you went through, but you live through that emotional pain over and over and over again too, and it kind of keeps coming back to haunt you.
Yeah, there's definitely some songs that have gotten me pretty into some feelings, and I'm like, I can't cry right now, I'm sitting at work.
Have you ever seen, give good Austin reference, David Ramirez? You ever seen him live? No. I would compare kind of one of my shows a little bit to one of his acoustic shows, because he is just a very deeply emotional soul, and man, his music can just rope you in. Yeah. And that's what I hope that my music does to people. I want them to feel what I wrote, and know that there's a story there, and there's something to be told, and it gets, sometimes you get a little welled up and anxious.
And describe your music.
That's another good question. I don't really classify myself as genre specific because if you listen to my EP that I have out right now, there's one song on there that's guaranteed, Texas country sounding. It's got the slide in it and everything like that. And some of my other songs are more toward the pop rock Matchbox 20 Train Tonic kind of angsty music. So and even my producer and friend compared me to Better Than Ezra on one lyric of a song and then to John Lennon on another. He said, man, that sounds so John Lennon right there. And I'm like, okay. And then man, that sounds so early Better Than Ezra right there. I like it. So I write what I feel and I arrange it, and however it comes out is how it's going to come out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And who are your musical influences?
A lot. Ranging back to when I was a little boy, I love In Excess. Huge fan. And my God, I wish Michael was still alive today because the stuff they'd be doing would be, another level.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to In Excess, Bob Seger, Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, that kind of music. And, even in my covers and stuff, what I play, that bleeds off. I love covering those bands. And my inspiration really starts there at the Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty, those kind of well-written songs. I don't like people who just throw something together and put it out there. I want something that's got a good lyric to it. That's a story, and you can listen to that and hear that story in it. So, modern artists like Graham Colton, David Ramirez, Jay Nash, Green River Ordinance, those kind of bands I'm absolutely in love with because of their songwriting ability and their storytelling ability.
Right.
It's really that's the type of stuff that draws me in. Yeah.
And who do you listen to that you think would surprise people?
Snoop Dogg.
That's a good one.
I'm actually a really big fan of old school hip hop.
Yeah.
Dre, NWA, stuff like that. I could sit around, you get in those moods every once in a while. You just like, man, I need some gin and juice in my life. And, I listen to a lot of metal too, believe it or not. Here I am, this storytelling lyricist, and I could pop on some Disturbed or Rage Against the Machine or, something like that any day of the week. And just,
I think Rage is pretty relevant right now too. So
yes, they are. Political, and I'm a closet metalhead, I guess.
And what's your favorite venue to play here in Austin?
Here in Austin, I've played a lot, but had some of my funnest moments playing Lucky Lounge last year, which sadly is no longer open.
Yeah.
I have to say that was a great venue to play. Good audience, just cool crowd to be around, and of course you're playing your own music.
Yeah.
I have played over at Waterloo, and that was a fun spot as well.
Okay. That's awesome.
So venues like that I enjoy, I appreciate. The cover scene, which is really taking over this town.
Yeah.
I've played Maggie Mae's, Blind Pig, and those two are kind of good standouts. Darwin's is a decent club on 6th. Some of those places are, but it really depends. It's all dependent on your night and your crowd too.
Yeah.
For a lot of those shows, the original shows I take much more pride in playing and performing. So I'd have to say Lucky Lounge, Waterloo, those were great spots to perform at.
Awesome. And where are the different places we can find your music?
My website, www.nategrantmusic.com, and I'm all over the internet, Spotify, Amazon, Google, iTunes, everything, and all you've got to do is search Nate Grant, and most of the links are actually on my website.
Okay. Awesome.
That'll direct you to Bandcamp and iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, those places.
Okay. Great. And do you have any upcoming shows? This episode's going to go up on the 28th. So.
On the 28th? Okay, that'll be a couple of weeks from now. Let me look at my calendar real quick. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So, let's as I told you earlier, there are a few changes coming to that calendar.
Yeah.
I know this tablet is like this monstrous thing, right? I had a little, was it the Note 10.1? Just the little one. And I used to take it up on stage with me because I could make song lists in it and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. And I bought a mic stand clip for it. Well, it finally broke and I had to upgrade, and this was the next upgrade, and it's like a 17-inch freaking, it's bigger than my computer screen.
Yeah.
This will go up on the 28th. So actually, March 3rd, me and my drummer, Rich, will be at Shiner's Saloon.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be there from 9:30 to 12:30. That's always a fun spot to play.
Yeah. I've seen you a couple of times there, and it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, it's one of my, I have to say, one of the better spots, off of 6th Street. It's not, 5th and Congress, so it's a easier spot to get to, and I think just a funner crowd, a livelier crowd that comes in through the night place.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get you playing some music.
Yeah, can do that. Well, I'll play a couple of tunes off that are on the album if you don't mind. So this is, I have to say, one of my favorite songs that actually my producer, Graham Colton, initially wrote the song.
Oh, okay.
And I fell in love with it so much that I stole it from him. And we tweaked it a little bit and put it up here on the album. And this is a little song called Heart Around. Fell asleep on different sides of the universe. Opened up, swallowed us. The space between was just too much to reach. Across this time, just tired of trying. I'm trying to talk myself back down. I'm trying to turn my heart around, telling you everything is different now. I'm trying to turn my heart around, my heart around, my heart around. Wish I could tell you everything would be alright. These lullabies are little lies we tell ourselves. There's no end in sight, but inside, falling stars, dying slow. Now come on, honey, you should know that everyone loses sometimes. And maybe I'm just getting tired. I'm trying to talk myself back down. I'm trying to turn my heart around, telling you everything is different now. I'm trying to turn my heart around, my heart around, my heart around. Wish I could tell you everything you everything is different now. I'm trying to turn my heart around. I'm trying to talk myself back down. I'm trying to turn my heart around. Trying to get this damn thing up off the ground. I'm trying to turn my heart around. My heart around, heart around. Wish I could tell you everything would be alright. Oh, that everything would be alright. Wish I could tell you everything would be alright.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. I love that song. I don't know what it. Well, I do know what it is about that song, but man, oh, that is yeah. That's
It's a very good one.
yeah. I got the feels. I got the feels.
Definitely.
This next song's a little less emotional. It's titled "Let Me Go." Your eyes so beautiful. Your lips tell me all I know. Your skin wears like porcelain, but you like stole. I can't understand the way you pull me down. I don't lose control. I wanna touch you now, but I can't do it anymore. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. Your legs are far too long. You don't stop coming on. And how you're standing on your feet, 'cause you like stole your mystery to me. The way you pull me in, I won't lose control. I want your velvet skin, I can't do it anymore. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. What's in your soul, devil or God? Under your sleeve, I don't know. It's time that I break your spell. Just let me go. The way you pull me in, I won't lose control. The way you take my hand, no, I don't do it anymore. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. Just let me go, let me go, let me go. Let me go. Ooh. That's the worst, best Elvis impersonation you'll ever hear, by the way. It's just,
Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. This podcast was created and produced by Julie Roth with production help from Nick Colbert. Special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. All songs performed are property of the musicians performing them. Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. To support the podcast, please rate and review on Stitcher and subscribe via Patreon. That's patreon.com/Julie's Infinite Playlist. The podcast was created by Julie Roth and is produced, mixed, and edited by Julie with help from Nick Colbert. Special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. All songs performed are property of the musicians performing them.